welcome to No Movies in Hell. I'm Chris Geiger.
I'm LaClaw Scott, and today we are reviewing A Strange Way of Life, a short by Pedro Almodovar.
I feel like I like a lot of stuff that he does. The most recent thing I saw of his was the Penelope Cruz, where she was a mother who lost her baby. I don't know if
Mm.
you saw that one, but she was great in that. They're always interesting storylines.
Yes, definitely.
And he uses
I
the same people over and over again. Penelope Cruz
yes.
has been in a number of his movies. I don't feel like Ethan Hawke or Pedro Pascal have been in anything he's done.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I definitely think that like she's his muse.
Yes, as she should be. She should be a lot of people's muse.
That's very true. I thought this movie was great. I love the colors. The vibrancy of this film was great. You know what's interesting? I saw it in AMC after you told me you saw it. And surprisingly, there were like a good amount of people in the theater, which I was surprised by. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know who the draw was, but obviously people were there to see the story and yeah, Pedro Pascal, uh, Ethan Hawke, and like a Western film, which, I feel like I haven't seen a Western in a while. And just telling a very, very different type of story. And it's also like these condensed formats are just I'm I'm appreciating the storytelling in such a very short period of time too.
Yeah. So you can go from Killers of the Flower Moon to A Strange Way of Life and now Miss a Beat.
Quality matters.
That I like westerns as a genre. I really like westerns as a genre. This was interesting because the costumes were so different from other westerns, right? Most westerns, like they're very drably
Yep.
dressed, right? Like they're covered in dust all the time anyway. So even if they were colorful, they would be muted anyway because of the dirt. But like that's not the case in this. They're very colorful. Almodovar is known for dressing his characters in very bright colors. I think a lot of times you'll see leading women in his movies are often wearing red,
Mhm.
especially if they're like the alpha female in that given scene. So if there are a couple women in a given scene interacting with each other, the one that's like the alpha will be wearing red in that. So it's interesting to see him take on a Western, keep everything else the same, right? Because he does even do like backgrounds that's very colorful, like his whole rooms as sets are often brightly colored, very strongly pigmented in ways that are maybe unusual for interior design. But in this, he left the classic Western backdrop, which makes the costumes pop even more. So you gave it a little more than I did.
Yes, yeah.
Uh,
I thought the story was interesting. Like I would recommend it. I wanted a little more because
yeah,
it took a little bit of time to set up and then it was just kind of like, oh, this is an interesting twist. Uh, and then it was like, okay, so what's going to happen afterward, right? Maybe there's room, I mean, I think it's highly unlikely, but you know, it's room for adventure. And I thought it was done really, really well.
yeah, I agree. I did want more from the story, but I would still highly recommend it just for the visual elements of it and the unusual subject matter for a short. And
Definitely.
it's Pedro Almodovar. Just go. It's a half an hour.
Just go. It's a half an hour.
I went,
It's worth every minute of it.
yes, I went to see it when I was in Cincinnati visiting my family, Northern
Mhm.
Kentucky actually. And I wasn't super sure. It was the first week it came out. I wasn't sure how many people would be in the theater.
Mhm.
Uh, but there were a lot of people there. I would say it was maybe 30% full. It was
Okay.
a small size theater, but that was still, I mean, I had been in other movies that I would have thought were less controversial
Yeah.
that it was just me in there. So there was, I think, a misunderstanding because A Strange Way of Life was the named movie and it said it was a short. And some people left after it was over. So they missed the human voice, which was added
Ah,
on as a bonus track.
yes,
But I
yeah.
just think they didn't know.
Yep.
Um,
That happened to in my theater too. I was like, wait, where are you going?
right, right. So I think that maybe should have been communicated better. But or maybe people just didn't want to see it. Maybe they'd already seen it 2 years ago when it came out. That's
Yeah.
possible. Um, but so we'll do a separate review of the human voice. Look forward to that. Do you have anything to plug in this episode?
More fall movies. It's award season. Unfortunately, actors are not able to promote their own films. So uh it'll be interesting to see what comes up, the creative ways with which people will go out and see films. Like it's so funny because now you're seeing like the power of marketing, promotion, advertising from, I guess not from the actors themselves, but like I see Martin Scorsese's on like TikTok and things like that. So it makes a difference. So we'll see. How about you? Do you have anything to plug?
I would say if you did not see Midsommar the first time around, it is back in theaters. Definitely go see that. It's timed well because it could be a Halloween movie, although it's not set in the fall, but it's kind of creepy. So
I love that movie. It's so good.
yeah. Well, thanks for joining everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.